What's going on, YouTube? It's been a minute. It has been a couple days since I dropped a video. So, we're going to do a live feed. Talk about some stuff that's going on. And some things. What's going on, Mish? Open, dang it. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness is fleeting. Multiple, double, triple, quadruple entendre there. Puns intended. What's going on, Matthew? What's going on, Robert? DMC. Why is the video inverted lately? I don't know. Let me see if I can fix that. I cannot fix that. I don't think. No. 8mm. I can do this. I can make it different colors and things. I actually like this. I like this one right here. Well, if I use the other camera, then I can't see the comments. But I like this one right here. Because he's in Australia, I can't use the other camera because then I can't see the comments because I only have one phone with me at the moment. But I'll show you guys where I'm at here. If you notice, it says I'm at your mom's house. I just had to... I didn't think anybody had done that yet. I had to make the joke, but I'm out here in the blue truck. Okay. I'm out here in the woodshed. I'm on our drop yard out here at a non-disclosed location. So editing and listening. You talked about the shirts. You have my shirts. She said she will send them out. I will get them when I get home before July 4th. I'm going to stay out a few weeks and then I should be home again back around July 2nd, July 3rd, something like that. But, you know, happiness is fleeting. There's a meaning. There's this video today. I don't know how much I can actually say. Because it's a driver-related issue and there's confidentiality and stuff like that. Plus, there is alleged things that happened that will have to go through a court system before anybody's considered guilty, not guilty, whatever. So, I had to fire a driver yesterday. First time I've had to fire somebody. Regrettable situation. Bad situation all around. The driver, felt bad about it. I felt bad about it. Nothing I could do. It's out of my hands. Basically, allegedly, this driver was speeding way above the speed limit. Allegedly. So that's what the DOT officer put on the ticket. And when, as you guys know, with the CDL, if you get over a certain threshold on speeding, you're fired. You can't be insured. Okay? Until you fight the ticket or get the ticket dismissed or whatever, you can't be insured. So that's pretty much what happened. Driver got a citation, and he has to fight it. We can't keep him employed while this citation is pending, unfortunately. Now, I provide a dash cam in all of my trucks to make sure that the drivers have the proper tools to cover their ass in a situation like this. Unfortunately, the driver did not have the dash cam plugged in. The driver did not have the dash cam plugged in, so we have no record to help the driver fight the ticket. So, seeing that there's no dash cam footage from our end that we can use to prove that the driver wasn't speeding, there's nothing we can do. So, it's a shitty situation, and I feel really bad for the driver having to go through this, losing his job, having to find a different job, having to fight this ticket, everything involved. But when it comes to once you're above 15 miles an hour, above the speed limit, okay, and this can happen in a 15 mile an hour zone, it can happen in a 25 mile an hour speed limit, it can happen in a 30 mile an hour speed limit. Just so happens this was a 35 mile an hour speed limit. Okay, I don't know the details. I didn't see a dash cam. I don't know if the driver did it or not. I'm not accusing the driver. That's why I said allegedly. But allegedly, according to the DOT officer, this driver did 21 miles over the speed limit. Allegedly. So, with a CDL and insurance companies, that's considered reckless driving. So, you're fired. There's nothing I can do. So, you guys gotta be vigilant out here, and being the speed demon, um, being a speed demon, driving around like a super trucker, speeding everywhere, getting pissed off behind people that don't want to speed, you're part of the problem, because guess what? You're eventually going to lose your CDL to something like this because you're speeding all the time. My trucks are governed at 70 miles an hour, but like I said, it doesn't matter if your trucks are governed or not. There are speed limits well below governed speeds. You got speed limits, you got school zones, okay, that are 15, 20 miles an hour. If you're going 40 miles an hour in a 20 mile per hour school zone and the school zone is active, guess what? You just got a reckless driving ticket. So you got to pay attention, and like I said, there's nothing the company can do. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing the insurance company can do to keep somebody that gets that high of a speeding ticket. Like I said, I don't actually know whether or not, for sure, 100% for sure, whether or not the driver was speeding. I'm just telling you guys what allegedly happened based on the police report or the citation. And he's going to have to fight it in court and see if he can get it dismissed, or if he can find evidence from the police dash cam or whatever to get it dismissed or whatnot. That's pretty much all I can say about it. But that's putting it pretty lightly. Obviously, it's upsetting to me because I lose a driver. Okay, it's upsetting to him and his family because he loses a job. So it's no good for anybody. Do I know whether or not the DOT officer lied? Nope, and I'm not gonna say that he did. Either way it goes, you guys got to protect yourself out here with a dash cam. All of my trucks have a dash cam, because of this kind of stuff. And if you don't have the dash cam footage, you're screwed. If you get a ticket, okay, it's alleged, right? It's your word against the officer's word in the court. And this is one of those things you're going to have to fight. If you get 15 mile an hour or more over a speed limit citation, you got to fight it. Otherwise, you won't drive for anybody for 5 years. So, yeah, he, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's all I can say, really. But this is why I always drive a little bit under the speed limit. I make sure I pay attention to school zones, all that stuff, the basic driving stuff. It's too easy to get complacent out here and end up being 5-10 miles over the speed limit because you're in a construction zone or you're in a school zone or whatever else is going on, or crosswalk or something. You got to pay attention to those speed limits. And if you don't, guess what? You could end up losing your CDL or not being able to drive for 5 years. What are you going to do if you can't work for 5 years? I mean, that's a significant blow. Because now he's got to go find a different job until he gets this ticket situation figured out. What are you going to do? But that's why the title of this video today is Happiness is Fleeting. Pun intended. Fleeting, if you don't know, Merriam-Webster definition, not lasting, short term, etc. Okay? Um, fleeting on the other side, growing a fleet, having a trucking business, etc. So, happiness is fleeting because, especially as a business owner, fleet owner, whatever, you have these moments where you have these really big highs because you add another truck, you create another job, you hire somebody and you give them a better opportunity than they had before, and you start seeing them provide better for their family. You get that high, that happiness of running the fleet, the good parts, and then it goes sharply back down the other way because you had to fire somebody. That's pretty much how it is. For you guys that think that this is all easy, that this is stuff that you can do just because I can do it, um, you're really not seeing the full picture because, one, I don't have time to record everything. Two, I don't want to record everything because there's a lot of stuff that's private and legally I probably can't share anyway. But you know, I can't tell you how hard this is sometimes. Um, like I said, the roller coaster of emotions when it comes to running the business is something that is pretty new to me ever since I started adding trucks. It's definitely interesting, and if you're not up for this roller coaster of one day you're happy as hell because you just grew your business, you added another truck, you did whatever, you saw that decent paycheck come in, you made payroll, you made all the bills, you made everything happen that week, everything went great, and then the next week everything goes to shit. Like almost instantly afterwards, everything goes to shit, and then the next week it goes right back. You're just on this constant, and the hills get bigger. Every level, every time you go to the next level, you add another truck, you hire another driver, the hills just keep getting bigger. And that's how you grow. It's a constant battle. And I've said this before, where there is no finish line in this business. The only finish line is if you walk away, you sell the business to somebody else. That's the only finish line. And that's what a lot of people aim for with their business, is a way out for them to retire. That's not how I look at my business at all. Like, this is my lifestyle. Like, running this business is part of my lifestyle. Um, that's the difference between somebody that is going to grow significantly and somebody that isn't. If growing the business isn't part of your lifestyle, then it's not going to happen for you. But if you guys like the information, then I'd like to see a few thumbs up. I see we got almost 70 people in here. Sorry to break the rhythm, but since you're at my mom's house, tell her said hello. All right, Corey. Oh man, I had to do it because I didn't think anybody had done that joke yet, so had to have a little bit of fun here and there. uh yeah, so that's a fleet update today. I had to fire my first driver, it was uh, I would say it went pretty smoothly, all things considered. And it wasn't really an angry firing or yelling or screaming or nothing like that. No, no drama or nothing. It was just, you know, pretty much over the phone because I wasn't able to be in Houston at time, for him to fly out. But got the truck back. Everything's okay. I've been cleaning. I cleaned the truck out last night myself. I got to clean it some more, and I'm looking for. I've already got another driver pretty much lined up. It depends on the insurance with how the insurance comes back, but we pretty much already got a driver lined up to take over this truck. So that's a relief. That's part of the roller coaster, right? So, oh, fired somebody. Shit. Oh wait, we found a new driver. Oh, okay, cool. Let's keep riding the roller coaster, man. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. I tell you. Oh, just today. I've been up and down the roller coaster a couple times just today, so it's definitely interesting. I'm sure something else will happen today that will hit the bottom again and go right back up. But that's the learning process I'm going through right now is how to deal with the emotional stress of just the constant changes of what the business is doing. I just decided to put a filter on here. This is a silver screen filter, man. What's going on? What's going on? Blue 579. What's up, U-Haul? Poor Woody gonna be on Xanax soon. Nah, I'll be okay, man. I don't medicate, so. Well, I just lied because sometimes them bubble guts will creep up on you. So sometimes, but other than that, I don't medicate, but sometimes them bubble guts will creep up on you. You gotta have an emergency shot of this stuff right here. And yeah, it's the generic brand because I'm cheap. And the truck stop wants like $7 for a tiny little bottle of Pepto. So, I'm not buying that. I'm not paying $7 for a bottle of Pepto. Screw you. Not a tiny one anyways. Anyway. You didn't fire him, you just can't legally continue to let him work for you. Pretty much. I seen your green truck yesterday by my house in Toledo, Ohio. That's what's up, man. Yeah, we got guys running all over the place. But just looking for some pointers. I'm looking into lease purchase. And can I start a fleet going through lease purchase? I mean, you see how I did it. I recommend having a truck paid off first. I don't necessarily recommend doing lease purchases for your company drivers. I don't recommend that. Could you do it? Probably. But once your business is established, you're going to be able to get business credit to go get loans to get trucks. The whole point here of building a business is so you can build your wealth and have the credit, okay, build your business credit up. So, and the best way to do that is by showing cash flow. If you don't show cash flow, you're not going to get a loan. So, you got to show profit. How do you show profit? Well, best way to show profit is to run a paid off truck. No truck note, that brings your cash flow up. Okay? So, you get one truck paid off, that brings your cash flow way up, probably $70,000, $80,000 a year on average. Somewhere between $70,000 to $80,000 is pretty doable with a paid off truck. Okay? Even with dry van. Okay, even leased on to a carrier. This is just leased on. You don't even have your own authority yet. We're not even talking about that. You can easily pull in $80K. With 80K cash flow, you can get a truck. Okay, you can buy a second truck with $80,000 cash flow on the books. Okay, but you're gonna have to show the bank statements. You're gonna have to show the tax returns, all that kind of stuff. And you need 2 good years of tax returns, basically, or significant cash flow before somebody's gonna really let you grow by purchasing trucks from the dealer. Now, there's other options out there. Okay, there's fleet leasing. Okay, companies like PAM, uh, Dart, and I don't know if Dart does it, but there's there's lots of companies out there that will lease you trucks. Extra Lease does trailers. Like, you can lease a trailer, you can lease a truck, third party. And on a fleet side, okay, on the fleet side of things, if you've got somewhat decent personal credit, you can sign up like Quality or something like that. Not endorsed by any means, but just an example. You can sign up to them and get trucks through them to start building your fleet without impacting your credit. Okay? That's another good way to get your cash flow situation started. Like, some of these really large carriers, they lease all of their equipment. Okay? PAM, for example, they get, and Celadon did as well. Of course, Celadon's not a good example, but they had other issues. It wasn't the leasing side that screwed them up. It was other issues. But PAM, for example, they lease all of their trucks through Quality fleet leasing. Okay, obviously, they're a pretty big company. Okay, they have a lot of drivers to make money, etc. You can build something like that with leasing, but you have to have that foundation to start off with. Anyway, I hope that helped you a little bit. Metamucil pills work too. You heard your Midol. uh, probably happen again. I hope not, man. I really never wanted to have to fire anybody, but it's part of doing business. Eventually, you're gonna have to fire somebody for some reason. Hopefully, it's a while before that happens again. And all the guys we have currently are solid. They run good, etc. So I don't see in the forecast, at least unbeknownst to me having to fire anybody anytime soon. But I also didn't expect this to happen either. So you never know what's going to happen out there. You never know if your driver is going to screw up and get fined by the DOT and lose their CDL. You never know. But that's also why I provided dash cam for my guys, to make sure that they can cover their ass with dash cam video if they weren't actually in the wrong. Now, if we get the dash cam back and find out they are in the wrong, then yeah, they're fired anyway. But do your job properly, obey the laws, obey the speed limits, etc., and you'll be able to keep your job. Don't fall into this super trucker trap of, oh, I gotta haul ass everywhere and cheat my logbook and all that bullshit. Because guess what? Those guys, eventually, they lose their CDL. And what's more important to you, being a super trucker or providing for your family? That's all I can say. That's pretty much all I can say about that. Cash on hand. You want cash on hand, but I'm talking about... I already explained it. I already explained that. Airlines do the same. Lease. Yeah, you learn more than one lesson the hard way. What's up, Chris? What state am I in? I'm in Texas. I'm near Houston. I'm waiting for a ride. But protect your CDL, guys. And the larger... I've got 5 trucks now, okay? Yes, I'm at the yard. I already sent Stacy a message, so it should be taken care of. You guys got to protect your CDL at all costs. That's your livelihood. Don't speed. pay attention to what you're doing, you know? Make sure you have a dash cam rolling to cover your ass if somebody cuts you off, gets you in an accident, whatever. Make sure your logbook is good, you know? Like, come on, guys. Do you want to keep your job or not? Like, I mean, what, you know, it upsets me because this was easily avoidable. That's why it upsets me. Something like that is easily avoidable if you just cover your ass and you do the speed limit. Now, allegedly, okay, it hasn't gone through court yet, but so allegedly speeding. But still, don't even put yourself on their radar. I mean, you guys know, like, I love running at nighttime. Guess what? Less DOT, less spotlight. You know, like, most of the way stations are closed. You don't have to worry about it as much. There's a reason why I do what I do. I like to stay off the DOT's radar entirely, if I can. Why? Because I don't need the headache. Now, everything I do is up on the up and up. But there's no reason to have an interaction with them unnecessarily and put yourself at risk of hurting your CDL or whatever. Especially if you only have one truck. I survived the 72-hour blitz too because I was at home. I was on home time for the blitz. But it just kind of happened that way. I didn't really plan it out that way. It just kind of happened that way. But most of the time I end up running nights, but it's, you know, I run daytime a lot too. But either way, you know, I prefer running nights because there's less issues with traffic. Okay? There's less issues with DOT and way stations and everything else. They're out during the day. Unless it's a holiday weekend and then they're out at night in the cities and stuff. But if you're running interstates, if you're just running the interstate and you're just cruising all night somewhere, I'd rather do it at nighttime than during the day. There's another possibility of something that allegedly what happened is that he was going down the hill and there was a car passing him. And the DOT cop clocked the car with the radar and thought it was the truck. That's a possibility as well. So if you stay away from traffic, right? So less traffic, less risk of something like that happening. Okay, because whether the officer was correct or not, it's still your word against his in court. And you still have to fight it. Have you ever been caught speeding? Once. One time back in 2006. 2006. The only time I was ever caught speeding. Knock on wood. The only time I was ever cited for speeding was back in 2006. I was coming home from work. Worked at Walmart warehouse. I got off at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was driving through Palestine, Texas. And you come off US 79 going through Palestine. And it drops down from 70 miles an hour down to 35. Pretty quick. Within a couple miles, it's at 70. Then it's down to 35. Well, I noticed all the speed limit signs down to 45. And I was doing 47. And he, as soon as I crossed into the 35 mile an hour zone, he hit me 47 and a 35, 12 over. Just like that. Got me. And the sad thing is, I had a radar detector too in my car, and I saw it going off, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, there's a cop, whatever. Because I thought I was doing the legal speed limit, but I wasn't, because I was tired, I wasn't paying attention to the speed limit signs, and I missed the 35 mile an hour sign, and as soon as I crossed that shit, he got me. That's what they do. But, I mean, that was so long ago now, it doesn't even matter. It's not even on my record anymore, I don't think, because it's so old. But I think tickets drop off after 3 years, 4 years. That ticket dropped off already. So that's a long time ago. But that's the only time I ever got busted. Ever since then, I've always been hyper vigilant about reading the speed limit signs, making sure I'm going the appropriate speed for whatever section of road I'm on, because it can happen that quick. You're doing 47, you're only two, you think that you're only 2 miles over the speed limit, but you're really 12 because you just crossed a new speed zone. Just that quick. You just fucked your CDL. So you got to pay attention. That's all I can say, really. Definitely a preventable situation, you know. Um, Allegedly speeding. What are you going to do? It's your word against the officer's word, so there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is have a dash cam record proving your innocence that you can submit into court and say, no, 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 officer, check my dash cam. It says I was doing 33 miles per hour in your 35 mile per hour zone. I was not doing 56. If you had a dash cam footage, it would show that. Without it, you're going to pay the fine, lose your CDL, whatever. That's just the name of the game. Anyways, y'all got any other questions today? It's getting hot out here. I gotta turn the truck on. Yeah, that's a good tip there too, man. Don't rely on the GPS speed limit, because like the Garmin and the Rand McNally both, they have the truck speed limits on them. Don't trust that. Make sure you're reading the actual sign on the road. Yes, my all the dash cams that I buy for my trucks track speed, and it shows right on the screen when you play back the video. When you play back the video, it shows right on the screen how fast you were going. So that's why I buy those dash cams. Yes, Walt, because if you probably didn't see the beginning part of the video, but with a commercial driver's license, if you are 15 miles per hour plus over the speed limit on a citation, it's considered reckless driving in the trucking insurance world, and the insurance company will not insure that driver. That's basically what happened. There's nothing I could do. I would have kept the driver if I could have, um, for my sake and his sake. But at that point, with a commercial driver's license and commercial truck insurance, if a driver has a citation that's 15 plus over, most insurance companies, that's it. They're gone. Nothing the company can do, really. I mean, it's all a learning experience for me too. I didn't know that until just the other day. I didn't even know that. So that's what I'm talking about it today too. Is like, I try to be as transparent as I can be without breaking the rules of confidentiality and all that stuff. Obviously, I'm not saying the driver's name or nothing like that. Internally in the company, our drivers probably know who he is. But I also said, look, I want to take the driver's side and believe what the driver told me, that he was not speeding. So I'll say, allegedly, according to the DOT officer, he was. It's up to the court to figure it out. So, and you know, hopefully for his sake, they get it figured out. Hopefully they get it figured out for him. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to get another trucking job for a while. Or a really shitty one. Probably one of those really crappy paying companies that only pays like 26 cents a mile or something. I can't get hired by certain companies. I slid off the road. Gotta wait 7 years. I'm in year 6. Holy crap. Just like that, man. It's not worth... I don't know the situation there. But, I mean... One little thing can happen and you lose your CDL. For years. They'll take it from you. They might even take it from you forever. What else are you good at? What else are you gonna do? Definitely a rollover situation. That's a really serious black mark on your record. I have no idea why they didn't write a car ticket, Zach. This is just how this system is. Okay, we could, if we wanted to, we could sit here and complain all day about how bad the police are and how bad the DOT is and how they abuse their power, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to change nothing. What's important to understand is this is how the system works. How can you survive in the system that exists? Your only thing you need to worry about is how you can survive with the system that's in place. If you figure that out, because complaining ain't going to do nothing. So don't complain. It is what it is. We all know the system is screwed up. Sometimes officers make mistakes. Guess what? They're human. But having that dash cam will cover your ass. Having your logbook legal will cover your ass. Having your truck at 1,000% operating, everything's fixed, everything works good, will cover your ass. I gotta plug this thing in. But we could sit here and complain all day about the police and everything else, which I actually back the blue. I support police. Obviously I don't support the ones that are corrupt and whatnot. But the majority of police officers are not corrupt or bad people or evil or nothing like that. The system is screwed up, and we're aware of that. So, having that awareness of how the system is screwed up, you got to figure out how to survive in the system that we have. Because the system is not going to change very quickly. So, figure out the system, figure out how it works, and deal with it. Pretty much. That's pretty much all I can say about it. Because complaining, protesting, that doesn't fix anything. As you guys have seen multiple times, it doesn't fix anything. So, figure out what you need to do to protect your CDL and do so. Even speeding tickets in your personal car can affect your CDL. Absolutely. When I'm in my personal car, I don't care if somebody's riding my bumper. I'm going 2 miles an hour under the speed limit. I don't care. You can kiss my ass. I'm going to drive slow. I'm protecting my family. Okay? If you don't like it, go around. If you don't like how slow I'm driving, go around. Because I'm protecting my family's future and my money and my CDL. If you don't give a shit about your CDL, fine. Go around, go speed. I don't care. That's your problem. But I'm protecting mine. What brand dash cam do I use? I use the Garmin dash cam 45. I like all the Garmin dash cams, but my phone's getting really hot, so I gotta go. It's hot out here, so but anyways, I like to use the Garmin dash cam 45 in my trucks. It works well. We've had minimal issues. We've had a couple little issues we're working on with them. But for the most part, that's what I use. Yeah, company. It's not necessarily the companies. See, it's the insurance. It's the insurance, guys. Like people want to blame, the mega carrier this, mega carrier that. It's the insurance companies pushing this stuff. If you get a 15 over, the insurance company might cut you. That's just it. So the company itself, the trucking company itself, it's out of their hands. So don't hate on the trucking company because of that issue. It's more than likely the insurance company that made the call. Anyways, with that being said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below after this video is done processing. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like the video, all that kind of stuff. You guys stay safe out there. I appreciate everybody that stayed with me today. I apologize if I didn't get to your comments. I had a lot to say today, so I didn't have a lot of time to answer questions and answers. If I have time tomorrow, I'll do another live feed tomorrow, and we'll do a full Q&A. I like doing these live feeds, so keep supporting the channel, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. You guys stay safe out there, and try not to die. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Hold on.